All right, time to jump into prepping for that raw materials warehouse specialist interview. You ready for this?
Absolutely. And with the info we've got from RoleCatcher, their career guide, interview guide, and that interview questions repository, we're going to make sure you're more than ready.
Really dig deep. Figure out what those interviewers are looking for, how to nail the common questions, and even what follow-ups they might throw your way.
It's not just about knowing the answers, right?
Right.
We're going to help showcase your understanding of the whole role, how vital it is to the entire supply chain.
Okay, so got to start with the basics, right? What does a raw materials warehouse specialist actually do? RoleCatcher's career guide breaks it down well. It's about ensuring the flow of raw materials runs smoothly. Receiving, organizing, storing, and keeping those stock levels just right.
Exactly. It's like walking a tightrope. You got to prevent shortages that could throw the whole production process off. But at the same time, no overstocking that eats up space and ties up resources.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's got that AI magic, right? It gives you personalized feedback on your answers, tailored to each job description. It's like having a cheat code for interviews.
It's an amazing tool, really helps you fine-tune those responses and make sure you're hitting the skills and experience that employers want most.
Okay, enough build-up. Let's get to the main event.
Sure.
The interview questions. We'll walk through some of the most common ones, try to understand what the interviewer's really asking, and how you can just blow them away with your answers.
It's not about memorizing a script. We want to bring out your understanding, your problem-solving skills, that passion you have for the role.
Right. All right, first one. You're in the hot seat, and they ask, how familiar are you with the warehouse management systems? What's going through your mind?
For me, I'd be thinking they're trying to figure out if you're tech savvy.
Hmm.
Warehouse management systems, those are the heart of modern operations. They need to know you can handle the tech side of things.
So even if you haven't used their specific system, what can you say to reassure them?
Talk about any inventory software or similar systems you have worked with. Even if it wasn't strictly in a warehouse, focus on how fast you pick up new programs. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI feedback comes in clutch.
Good point. Okay, they might follow up with something like, tell me about a time you had to troubleshoot a problem with a warehouse management system. How would you tackle that one?
Think back to a specific situation, maybe a data entry error, a system glitch. Walk them through your process, how you figured out the problem, the steps you took, the outcome. It all shows off those problem-solving skills and your ability to think on your feet.
All right, next up. Can you describe your experience with inventory management? Sounds pretty straightforward, but what are they really digging for?
They want to be sure you get the importance of accurate inventory, how it impacts the whole production process. They need to know you can keep things organized, running smoothly, and be trusted with it.
So how do you make your answer stand out, not just the basic stuff?
The STAR method's your friend here. Situation, task, action, result. Think of a time you dealt with inventory, even if it wasn't in a warehouse setting. Could be retail, volunteer work, even just organizing a stockroom.
Love that STAR method. And I bet RoleCatcher's AI can give some killer feedback on how to structure it for maximum impact, right?
Totally. It helps you highlight the key details and make sure your answer fits what that specific job's looking for.
Awesome. On to question 3. How do you ensure raw materials are stored safely and in an organized way? Safety is a huge deal in warehouses. What needs to be front and center in your answer?
Show off your knowledge of safety protocols, the best ways to handle and store materials. Mention any certifications or training. You've got OSHA guidelines, forklift operation, anything relevant. But don't just list them off.
Right. Give them a real example of how you put those procedures into action, or even improved organization somewhere you worked before.
Exactly. Be proactive. Show them you don't mess around with safety. They might even ask, what would you do if you saw a coworker not following safety procedures?
Oh, that's a good one. What's the best way to answer that?
It's all about demonstrating your commitment to keeping things safe. Explain that you'd approach the situation calmly and professionally, remind them of the rules, and just emphasize that everyone's safety matters.
Okay, question 4. How do you ensure raw materials are received and processed on time? Time is money in this business, isn't it? What are they looking for here?
Efficiency and attention to detail are key. They want to know you can handle the fast-paced world of receiving shipments, verifying everything's there, and getting those materials processed and ready to go.
So highlight those organizational skills, your ability to prioritize, and any experience with relevant software or systems.
And if you can, talk about a time you made a new process that streamlined receiving or prevented bottlenecks.
Concrete examples always make a better impression. What kind of follow-up question might they ask for this one?
Oh, they could throw something like, describe a time you had to deal with a late shipment. How did you handle it?
And that's where you get to showcase those problem-solving muscles.
Exactly. Talk about how you talked to the vendor, adjusted schedules, and found a solution that kept things running smoothly. You want to minimize any disruption to production.
All right, question 5. This one feels a bit more challenging. Can you give an example of a time when you had to resolve a significant warehouse issue? Feels like a chance to be the hero of the story.
Absolutely. This is where you show off your problem-solving skills. Pick a story that shows you can figure out the root cause of a problem, create a plan, and execute it effectively.
And don't forget that STAR method. It's a winner.
It is. And RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful here. It can look at your answer and suggest ways to make it even stronger. It'll highlight the skills that are most relevant to this specific role.
Okay, on to question 6. All about teamwork. Can you describe a time when you had to work collaboratively with other teams to achieve a common goal? Warehouses are all about teamwork, right?
100%. They want to see that you're a team player, that you can communicate well, and that you understand how all the different departments have to work together to keep everything running.
So what's a good example to share here?
Think about a project or a situation where you had to work closely with another team. Could be production, quality control, even the shipping department. Describe the goal you were working towards, the challenges you faced, and how you worked together to overcome them.
And make sure to highlight the positive outcome. Did you hit a deadline? Improve efficiency? Find a clever solution to a problem you all shared.
Yes. And don't be surprised if they follow up with, what's your preferred communication style when working in a team? They're trying to see how you'd fit into their work environment.
That's a good point.
Hmm.
Okay, question number 7. How do you stay up to date with industry trends and best practices in warehouse management? This shows you're committed to constantly learning and growing, right?
Absolutely. It proves you're proactive and you really care about your career. Talk about any industry publications you read, professional organizations you're a member of, or any online courses you've taken.
Don't forget to mention RoleCatcher. Their platform is always updated with the latest trends and info.
Yes. RoleCatcher is fantastic for staying ahead of the game. You can use it to research companies, look into new technologies, and even see what skills are in high demand.
So helpful. They might follow up with, what are some of the biggest challenges facing the warehouse industry today?
That's where you get to show them you're thinking critically about the bigger picture. You could talk about the demand for faster delivery, the complexity of supply chains, or even the challenges of incorporating automation into existing workflows.
Great points. All right, we've covered a lot. Maybe it's time to shift gears a bit. What do you think?
Totally. Let's move beyond the specific questions and look at some broader strategies for just nailing that interview. Ready?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Before anything else, research the company. Got to do your homework.
Makes sense. Shows you're genuinely interested, that you took the time to understand what they're about, their values, products, culture, the whole shebang.
Exactly. Check out their website, read up on any recent news, even see what they're up to on social media. It helps you tailor your answers, prove you'd be a great fit.
RoleCatcher can help with that, right? Beyond just the questions.
Oh, for sure. Their AI digs into a company's online presence, gives you the inside scoop on their culture, values, even what specific skills they're after. Super useful.
It's like having a secret dossier on them, but for good.
Yeah. Another thing, have some questions ready to ask the interviewer.
Ooh, good point. Shows you're engaged, curious, that you're genuinely interested in the role in the company, not just going through the motions.
Plus, it's your chance to get more info, see if they're the right fit for you too. It's a two-way street.
So what kind of questions should you ask? What makes a good impression?
Ones that show you get the role, get the industry. You could ask about their specific warehouse management system, their inventory approach, safety protocols, stuff like that.
Or even bigger picture stuff, their plans for growth, investments in automation, their sustainability efforts.
All good. Don't be shy about asking about the company culture, what they enjoy about working there. Gets them talking too.
Okay, let's talk first impressions. Those can make or break you before you even answer a question. What are your top tips?
Look the part. Dress professionally, even if the warehouse itself is casual. First impressions matter.
Shows you're serious. You respect the opportunity they're giving you.
Right, and be on time. Actually, aim to get there a few minutes early. Gives you time to chill, get your head in the game.
Good advice. Once you're in the interview, what should you keep in mind?
The basics, but they matter. Eye contact, smile, enthusiasm. Show them you want to be there. You're eager to learn.
And really listen to the questions. Take a beat to think before answering. Clear and concise responses are key.
And stories. Use specific examples to show, not just tell. Those stick with people way more than just vague statements.
Okay, let's shift gears for a sec. Talk about networking. Sometimes it's who you know, right?
Networking's all about building relationships, and in the warehouse world, it can really open doors.
So attending industry events, joining those professional organizations, even connecting with people on LinkedIn.
All of it can give you insights you wouldn't get otherwise about different companies, roles, the whole scene.
And sometimes those connections lead to referrals, which are gold when you're job hunting.
Can be a good referral. So yeah, networking, put in the effort, it's worth it.
Back to RoleCatcher for a minute. Besides the research, how does their AI help with interview prep specifically?
Their video practice tool is awesome. You record yourself answering common questions, then it gives you feedback, like having a personal coach.
Analyzes your body language, how you sound,
Yeah,
if you're getting the message across clearly.
exactly. Helps you catch those nervous habits you might not even realize you're doing.
Mhm.
Polish your presentation skills.
So you can practice, get feedback, refine your delivery until you're feeling like $1,000,000 walking into that interview.
You'll be rocking it. Before we move on, gotta touch on continuous learning. Crucial in any career, but especially now.
Things change so fast. What you know today might be outdated tomorrow, especially in a field like warehousing, with tech always evolving.
Yep. RoleCatcher's Career Guide has a whole bunch of strategies for continuous learning and professional development. Taking online courses, webinars, workshops. That's where it's at.
There's so much good stuff online now. Warehouse management systems, inventory control, supply chain management, even stuff like leadership and communication skills.
And you can do it on your own time at your own pace. Super flexible.
Huge advantage these days. What else does the Career Guide recommend?
Industry conferences and networking events. You meet other pros, hear about trends, learn from the experts.
Like a crash course in all things warehousing.
Right. And great for building your network. Might even stumble upon a new job opportunity while you're there.
Love it. Networking plus continuous learning, a recipe for success. Speaking of, what about going for advanced certifications or even a degree in supply chain management?
Great point. A high school diploma gets your foot in the door, but if you want to climb that ladder, higher education is the way to go.
What's the payoff? Aside from sounding impressive on your resume, I mean.
Bigger earning potential, for one thing. A bachelor's degree in supply chain management can unlock those higher-level positions, more responsibility, and that usually comes with a nicer paycheck.
Makes sense. What about beyond the money? What else does it give you?
Deeper understanding of how it all works, the whole complex system of supply chain management. Logistics, procurement, inventory optimization, demand forecasting, the good stuff.
So it's not just knowing the warehouse tasks. It's understanding the WHY behind them, how they fit into the bigger picture.
Exactly. And employers are looking for that now, especially as businesses become more and more reliant on smooth supply chains.
So investing in your education, it pays off in the long run, both financially and in terms of how far you can go in your career.
Absolutely. And even the process of getting that degree or certification shows a lot about you. Work ethic, commitment to growing, willingness to go above and beyond, all things employers love to see.
It shows you're not just clocking in and out, you're actively trying to improve yourself.
Yep. Sets you apart from the crowd. Okay, let's talk about something that can really make a difference, mentoring.
Mentoring. You mean finding someone to be your Yoda?
Pretty much. It's a win-win. For the mentee, it's guidance, support, insights from someone who's been there, done that.
Like a personal career Sherpa guiding you through the rough terrain.
And for the mentor, it's a chance to share their knowledge, work on their leadership skills, and help someone else succeed. Feels good.
Okay, so how do you find a mentor? Just wander the warehouse district hoping to bump into one.
No. RoleCatcher's Career Guide suggests checking out professional associations, going to those industry events, even reaching out to folks on LinkedIn.
Good starting points.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to connect with people at companies or in roles you admire.
Most people are happy to share their experiences, offer advice. You never know where a simple conversation might lead.
Could be the start of a beautiful mentorship. Okay, ready for a bit of a shift. Let's talk soft skills. Important in ANY job, but especially in a warehouse.
It's more than just moving boxes, right?
All right, communication, teamwork, problem solving, leadership, these are critical.
In a fast-paced, high-pressure environment, you need those soft skills to thrive.
Why is that? Seems like they'd be important everywhere.
Well, think about it. In a warehouse, you're constantly interacting with others. Colleagues, supervisors, vendors, delivery drivers, the whole gang.
True. Can't just hide in a corner with your inventory spreadsheets.
Exactly. Communication is everything. Everyone needs to be on the same page. Tasks got to get done efficiently. Problems got to be addressed quickly.
So being able to communicate clearly, both talking and writing, is essential.
No doubt. And then there's teamwork. Warehouse operations are all about everyone working together.
Getting those materials in, stored right out the door on time. A well-oiled machine.
And that takes collaboration, cooperation, being able to work with all kinds of different people.
So teamwork isn't just a nice bonus, it's mandatory.
Yep. Problem solving, too. Stuff happens in a warehouse.
Oh, yeah. Delays, equipment breaking down, unexpected curveballs, always something.
Got to think on your feet, assess the situation, come up with solutions that keep things moving.
So, problem solving, essential skill for any warehouse job.
Absolutely. And lastly, leadership.
Wait, not everyone's a manager, though.
True, but you don't need a fancy title to be a leader.
What do you mean?
Taking initiative, motivating your coworkers, helping out when someone's struggling. That's all leadership in action.
So even entry-level folks can show leadership qualities.
Yep, and those who do, they get noticed. Often they're the ones who get promoted.
So soft skills are just as important as those technical skills in a warehouse.
100%. They're often what separates a good worker from a great one.
Now let's talk about something that can really give you an edge in an interview. Asking good questions.
Shows you're engaged, you're curious, genuinely interested in the role in the company, not just there for a paycheck.
So what makes a question good? What should we be asking?
First rule, don't ask stuff you can easily find on their website or in the job description. Waste of everyone's time.
Right. Dig a little deeper. Shows you've done your research.
Exactly. Ask about things that show you've been thinking critically. Company culture, growth plans, challenges, and opportunities of this specific role.
What about their sustainability efforts, tech they use, how they develop their employees?
All great questions. And it's perfectly fine to ask about the next steps in the process, too.
Like when they'll make a decision, if there are more interviews, logistics, stuff like that.
Yep. Shows you're eager and serious. And always end by thanking them for their time, saying you're still interested.
Leaves a good impression. Wraps things up on a positive note.
We've covered a lot today, but got to emphasize one thing. Practice, practice, practice.
Applies to everything in life.
Right.
Right. But especially job interviews.
Totally. The more you practice those answers, the smoother and more confident you'll be.
And RoleCatcher's AI interview practice is a game changer for that.
Like having your own personal coach in your pocket.
So use all the tools you have, practice those responses, and walk into that interview feeling prepared and ready to rock.
You got this.
Okay, so we talked about soft skills, networking, learning, interview prep, all super important. But there's one piece missing. Mindset.
Mindset is everything. It's your attitude, beliefs, how you approach challenges. That's what determines how far you'll go, not just in this job, but in life.
So what's the winning mindset for a raw materials warehouse specialist?
Starts with a positive attitude, willingness to learn, to grow.
Seeing those challenges as opportunities to get better, not roadblocks holding you back.
Exactly. And strong work ethic, commitment to quality, always aimed for improvement.
Not just punching the clock, right? You got to care about what you're doing, always try to do it better.
Right. And being a team player, supporting your colleagues, helping build a good, positive work environment.
Knowing you're part of something bigger.
100%. And got to be resilient.
Resilient, bouncing back from setbacks.
That happens in a warehouse, right? Mistakes, delays, unexpected problems.
Never a dull moment.
And when those setbacks happen, you got to learn from them, adjust your approach, and keep pushing forward.
So it's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent, not giving up when things get tough.
Yep. Welcome feedback. Be open to constructive criticism. Use it to learn and grow.
Like growth mindset, right?
That's it. Believing you can always learn new things, get better at what you do, and that challenges are just stepping stones.
Love it. Okay, as we wrap this up, got to remind everyone the future of warehouse management is exciting, but it's changing fast.
Technology is turning the industry upside down. The folks who can adapt, keep learning, and think ahead are the ones who will succeed.
So new to the game or a seasoned pro, embrace those changes, never stop learning, and keep that growth mindset strong.
And RoleCatcher's got your back. Their AI platform, all their resources and insights, they're there to help you navigate this crazy world and hit your career goals.
This has been fantastic. Huge thanks to you, our expert, for all the wisdom and insights.
Happy to share. I love this field, and I love helping others discover what's possible.
To everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Hope you found it useful, inspiring, and that it gave you that extra boost of confidence. Remember, you have the power to shape your career. Go out there, make it happen, and never stop pushing yourself. See you next time.
Couldn't agree more. Warehouse industry is going to see some major shifts. Folks who are ready for that, who embrace it, they'll have a real head start.
So how can our listeners get ahead of the curve? What should they be focusing on?
Tech, for sure. Automation's taking over warehouses. Got to have a good grasp of these warehouse management systems, how they work with other tech.
It's not just about driving a forklift anymore. It's about understanding how that forklift talks to the main system, how data gets collected, analyzed, all that good stuff.
Exactly. And that leads us to another big skill for the future, data analysis.
Data analysis. In a warehouse.
Oh, yeah. All those sensors, scanners, devices, warehouses are becoming data gold mines.
Now I see what you mean. So, warehouse pros of the future need to be able to take all that data, figure out what it means, find the trends, pull out insights that can help make better decisions.
Right. Got to be comfy with spreadsheets, understanding those data visualizations, maybe even using some basic data analysis tools. Find those hidden patterns and opportunities.
It's not just about moving boxes anymore. It's about understanding how information flows, using data to optimize things, make everything better.
Bingo. Now, don't get me wrong. The human element's still vital. Even with all this automation, you still need skilled people to manage teams, solve those tough problems, adapt when things go sideways.
So those soft skills we talked about, communication, teamwork, problem solving, leadership, they're more important than ever.
Absolutely. That's what separates us from the machines, right? Those are the skills that'll make you successful in this new automated world.
Makes sense. And RoleCatcher can help with that too, right?
Yeah.
It's not all just tech stuff.
Totally. They've got AI that gives you feedback on your communication style, personalized insights on your leadership strengths, even tips on how to build better relationships with your team.
It's like having a career coach in your pocket, available 24/7.
Exactly. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want everyone listening to feel excited. The future of warehouse management is wide open, but you got to be ready to embrace change, build those skills, and most importantly, keep a positive mindset.
So whether you're just starting out or you've been at it for years, it's all about growth. Take on the challenges, keep learning, and keep your eyes on the prize.
And remember, RoleCatcher's got your back every step of the way. Their platform, packed with resources, insights, tools, everything you need to navigate this exciting world and reach your goals.
This has been a fantastic journey. Huge thanks to you, our expert, for sharing all that knowledge and wisdom with us.
Happy to do it. Love this field and love seeing others realize how much potential it has.
To all our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Hope you learned a ton, feel inspired, and that you're ready to tackle whatever comes next. Remember, you're in control of your career. Go out there, make your mark, and never stop pushing yourself. Until next time, happy warehousing.